to one a day. Guys, from bad to worse, although it can't get much worse than that. What was ugly this week? Halliburton's Achilles rupture tear. That's always ugly to see, always ugly to watch. So that's definitely the ugliest I saw this week.
Yeah, it's what was Jay Williams saying? 8 this year, 8 Achilles ruptures this year that suffered in the NBA. So not great, and then not great for next year as well too for several teams in the East. It's a bummer.
We are Sports.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Oh, tasty high note. Oh, hi, don't mind me. I'm practicing my new baritone sax. I just heard PayPal's paying for people's stuff every day for 100 days, and there's 10 million up for grabs. All you have to do is use PayPal checkout online. So there's never been a better time to buy a few things off the old wish list, like this leaf blower. PayPal could pay for your purchase. The Great PayPal Checkout.
No purchase necessary ends July 18th. See official rules at paypal.com/thegreatpaypalcheckout/terms. Participating merchants only must use PayPal checkout online. Coverage of up to $100 and eligible purchases per card.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Delays are growing due to a crash on I-35 northbound at Slaughter Lane. The left lane is blocked off, and you're now backed up starting from Highway 45, causing a 20-minute delay here due to some bumper-to-bumper traffic. Also looking on a 183 southbound for a stalled vehicle moved out of the main lanes over to the right shoulder at Highway 71. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
If you're thinking about getting a new car, have you thought about leasing a new car and leasing it from Apple Leasing? Their number is 346-9977. Here's just a few reasons why leasing a car from Apple Leasing might be better than financing a new car. Lower monthly payments. The lease agreement payments typically involve lower monthly payments than financing that exact same car. Another reason to lease from Apple Leasing, reduced upfront costs. Leasing often requires a minimal down payment. One of my favorite reasons to lease from Apple Leasing is lower repair and maintenance costs. The car that you lease from Apple Leasing is under a manufacturer warranty during the lease. Repair costs are often minimal, if any. Those are just a few reasons why you should lease your next car from Apple Leasing. That, and they'll get you any make and any model with one phone call. Call them today at 346-9977. That's 346-9977, or go to appleleasing.com.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99, was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Have you heard? Kohl's Instant Kohl's Cash event is happening now. That's right. You can get $10 Kohl's Cash to use instantly when you spend $25 or more. Get it today and spend it today on summer must-haves from your favorite brands. Yep, you definitely don't want to miss this. Get instant Kohl's Cash while you still can at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Offers end June 29th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora at Kohl's. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Grills on, coolers full. Specs has your summertime spirits covered.
Find your iHeartRadio everywhere. There are hundreds of ways to experience iHeartRadio at home and on the go, beyond the iPhone and Android app and at iHeartRadio.com. Here's another way to connect to iHeartRadio. Apple CarPlay. Our iOS app comes alive in your car's dashboard with a seamless way to play your favorite music, radio stations, and podcasts. Developed with driver safety in mind, the Apple CarPlay interface was built for simple navigation and to limit driver distraction while making sure you can still access all your favorite content from iHeartRadio. No need to download another app. Just plug or pair your iPhone with your dash, and if CarPlay is available in your vehicle, iHeartRadio will sync automatically. iHeartRadio, everywhere you want to listen, including in your car through Apple CarPlay. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio, anywhere you want to listen, iHeartRadio is there.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, El Paso, Leander, and Silsbee, Texas, or wherever you may be listening. This is a way back Wednesday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Cowboys cheerleaders finally get their respect. The old ball coach is a hater. Sark met with the crew from 3rd and Longhorn. Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman joins us at 7:34 to talk Texas baseball and the transfer portal. Dak is finally getting his respect. Hall of Famer Chipper Jones will join us to talk about what he has coming up real soon, and, of course, Major League Baseball. And we have Carolina Teague of Spurs Perfect Blog to talk about the San Antonio Spurs and what is expected to happen tonight. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry, but he has some travel issues, so Mark is not going to be on today, but he will be on tomorrow, and our guy Marcus is behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. And if you want to get a chance to win a pair of tickets or leave us a voicemail, all you got to do is use that new and improved iHeartRadio app, the one that's always free. Use that talkback feature and leave us a message, and I'll give you a word of the day so you can win a pair of tickets to go see Coheeb and Cambria. All right, check this out. We didn't get a chance to get into it. I know that the NBA is all about the conversation. It is NBA draft day. We will talk about the NBA draft. But the NFL and, of course, the Texas Longhorns always take first dibs on this. I know it's a big day. I know that Texas Longhorn Trey Johnson has a chance to hear his name called within the first 5 picks. We're going to talk about that, and we'll hear from his former coach a little bit later. But right now, I want to go to Pittsburgh. Listen, I have been somebody that haven't been fond of Aaron Rodgers. I am fond of Mike Tomlin. But now these two have merged. Wedded bliss, I guess you would say, in certain situations. But the question now has been thrown to me and asked, is Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin both on their last leg? We've talked numerous times about the fact that Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I personally don't see that happening either. Again, either with or without Aaron Rodgers, just because of the fact that, hey, it hadn't happened. I'm not pushing for it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But now you have a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers who, let's be honest, has a lot to prove. Yes, he's got the MVPs. He's done some amazing things in his life. But we've all talked about the underachievement of both of those guys. If you would have told me that Aaron Rodgers would have only had one Super Bowl ring, people would think that you were kind of crazy, right? They'd be like, man, did you see what he's been able to do? And all these MVPs. He hadn't got it. If I would have told you that you would expect a coach that has not had a losing record in his career, that he would be able to have more Super Bowl championships, you believe it. Now, we all know how hard it is to achieve that. But now Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin are at a crossroads in their career. And Aaron Rodgers addressed why this is going to be his last year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a 1-year deal. Steelers didn't need to, put any extra years on that or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
And think about that. He is expected to win, and that is very, very true. But can he ride off into the sunset? He and Mike Tomlin possibly ride off into the sunset with a championship. Forget a championship. Let's get some playoff wins. We talk about that in Dallas. You win divisions, but you don't win playoff games. I get it. Pittsburgh, great franchise, great city, loves hardworking people, wants to get it done. So the question was, Aaron, what made you decide to come here? Was it your conversations with Mike Tomlin?
How important do you think that is to have a relationship with your teammates? And how important was it to be signed with the Steelers before mandatory minicamp to get some face time? Was that a thought whenever it was coming into the timing of when you would join a team from the beginning, or kind of how did we get to that point?
I had conversations with Mike T every single week, and it was really through those conversations that this became a reality. So, I think most people who come to the Steelers talk about one of the reasons being Mike T. And I can say, that was right at the top. Just the conversation that we had felt like you're talking to an old friend, honestly. So I really appreciate those conversations throughout it. I really love Arthur. I want to send my love to him. I obviously did it personally, but the passing of his father last couple of days was, sudden and very sad. So Arthur's a great man, and really enjoyed conversations with him during the process and out there at minicamp. But it's been really good. The guys were great. They welcomed me great. It's fun in the quarterback room. We already got a great group chat that's going good. And Mason, Skylar, and Will have all been great. So it's been really fun. I had a really nice 3 days on the field and then 4 days before that with those guys.
And here's the thing, the biggest thing for me, when you start to understand why and how he's been doing it. This is Mike Tomlin's biggest chance that he's had since Ben Roethlisberger. I know that Russell was there. I know that Justin Fields was there, but they just didn't seem to capture what he was looking for. Mike Tomlin is a great, great guy. There's never been a person to talk bad about him. There's never been a situation that he hasn't given it to you real, so to speak. But the biggest question that I have right now, and I want you to go over to AM 1300, The Zone, on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and I want you to cast your vote. Is this the last hurrah for both of these guys, no matter what happens. Is Mike Tomlin done in Pittsburgh if this Aaron Rodgers experiment fails? Yes, no, he's done no matter what. Those are your options. And the reason why I put he's done no matter what is because of the simple fact that Mike Tomlin has been in Pittsburgh for quite some time. And every once in a while, I know this is not the franchise's way of handling business. He could be there as long as he wants, probably, because of the success that he's had. But after a while, it becomes a little bit stale, maybe. Maybe they are looking for the next person to be able to lead this franchise. Maybe the franchise needs a different voice. Now, me personally, I think it has to be an epic failure for them to move on from Mike Tomlin. What is that? First losing season, not playing well. Aaron just doesn't seem to be motivated in that particular way. And there's a lot that goes into it.
I personally think the only way is an epic fail. I think if they make the playoffs, I don't see them letting go Mike Tomlin or Tomlin stepping down. I see Tomlin still staying with the team. That team has had so much turnover over the years that the staleness, maybe with the fan base and maybe the organization, but with the players, I don't see the staleness with the players because they continue to turn over and move on from players to players throughout the years.
But at that point, that's why I believe that if you bring in somebody else, the whole conversation and the direction changes.
Yeah.
Because leadership's not going anywhere. The owners are the owners. But after a while, you may have had some conversation, and maybe Mike is tired of it.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Maybe Tomlin is looking at it in a different light as well and decides, you know what? I can't get us over that hump. I've had fun. I've done a great job. My record leads me to believe that he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Both of those guys, Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin, are going to be in the Hall of Fame, but is there going to be a change if this doesn't work out? We're just getting started on a way back hump day edition of the Morning Kickoff. Coming up next, why is it that Steve Spurrier got a hate? And the crew from Third and Longhorn had a great conversation that we want to share with you, with Coach Sark, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Life is Good by Joe Walsh.
Life's been good, but that's close enough for
right.
Joe.
You know, when I see that album cover, for some reason, he looks like Dale Earnhardt to me. With the mustache. Now, I haven't really seen what he looks like in person.
Right.
Back when it was.
Trust me, if Dale Earnhardt were alive today, he would not look like Joe Walsh. There's not many people look like Joe Walsh how he looks today. Trust me.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu. Starring John Fogerty, Bryan Adams, Sammy Hagar, Mariah Carey, Tim McGraw, Jelly Roll, Ed Sheeran, and more. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Superstar performances, never before seen collaborations, and once-in-a-lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Get your iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets now at AXS.com.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Delays are growing due to a crash on I-35 northbound at Slaughter Lane. The left lane is blocked off, and you're now backed up starting from Highway 45, causing a 20-minute delay here due to some bumper-to-bumper traffic. Also looking on a 183 southbound for a stalled vehicle moved out of the main lanes over to the right shoulder at Highway 71. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Shop Mattress Firm's July 4th sale and reclaim your restless nights. Choose from a curated premium selection of mattresses to find just the upgrade you're looking for. Get matched, sleep at night.
Stuck in the same day-to-day routine that honestly sucks. Wake up, go to work, eat, sleep, repeat. Well, today doesn't have to suck. Get rid of boredom and download Call of Duty Mobile for free. Enjoy fan-favorite maps, modes, and operators from classic Call of Duty titles. Plus, new mobile-exclusive content. You can even earn tons of free rewards just for playing. Did we mention you can play for free on your phone almost anywhere, anytime? Call of Duty Mobile looks and feels incredible. Characters, maps, and weapons practically leap off the screen. This game is so smooth, fast, and responsive, all on your phone. What are you waiting for? Break the boredom loop and play for free now. Call of Duty Mobile is available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store today. Rated M for mature.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card over 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
At Hannah Chevrolet, we like to keep things simple. So the price we agree on is the exact price you pay. That means no bait and switches, no absurd additions, no mandatory dealer packages that are magically added at the finance table. At Henna, this can save you $3,000 to $5,000. Just straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, incredible customer service, and a vehicle you're going to love. So come in and together let's drive at Henna Chevrolet or Henna.com.
The Big Three is back this Sunday on CBS and Vice. Fast-paced, physical 3-on-3. Michael Beasley, Dwight Howard, Lance Stevenson, Frank Nitti, Paul Millsap, Mario Chalmers, Jordan Crawford, Jason Richardson, Joe Johnson, Montrezl Harrell, and more. Live on CBS, 1 p.m. Eastern.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Bastrop, Georgetown, Killeen, or Lockhart, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. We cover all 40 acres.
Coming up in the next segment, we'll have our guy Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman joining us to talk all things Texas baseball, as they have had one heck of a haul here in the transfer portal. As we talked about before, the transfer portal, give it, take us away. And right now, the transfer portal is at an all-time high for the Texas Longhorns. And by the way, they were SEC champs, and they're just getting better. But right now, I want to talk about the 40 acres. The University of Texas football team is going through their summer workouts. Arch Manning is the top of the conversation, and we'll get into Steve Spurrier in just a moment. But yesterday, the Third and Longhorn podcast released their interview with Coach Sark. And by the way, it was one hell of an interview. They did, everybody was up there, and the conversation was so natural, and it wasn't forced. And as you know, Coach Sark is one of the realest guys out there. He doesn't sugarcoat it, and the questions were spot on. So great job by the Third and Longhorn podcast. And if you missed it, you can go over and watch the entire thing, because I'm obviously not going to play the whole thing. But I do want to get into some of the things that they addressed with Coach Sark. And one of the main things was obviously Arch Manning, Arch Mania, as they called it, and what Arch has been doing throughout this time. Because you know as well as I do, you can't go a day without talking about the starting quarterback at the University of Texas, whether it's Colt McCoy, Chris Sims, Major Applewhite, James Brown, Donnie Little, everybody that has played, Sam Ellinger, everybody that has played the quarterback position at the University of Texas. Either you're the first string or you're second string, and you're the darling of the America. But Arch Manning is a little bit different, and Arch Mania has kind of taken over college football.
I got to know him really well through the recruiting process. And I always, doesn't matter if it's Arch or Anthony Hill or anybody we recruit, we really try our best to get to know the family. Because I think the family is the best indicator of who the young man's going to become, right, in his time here. And if you ever been around Arch's mom, his dad, his brother, his sister, they're awesome people, like down to earth, great people. And I thought that gave us a real indicator of, man, this kid's just a normal, down to earth kid. I thought what was also really interesting in the recruiting process, nowhere in that time did I get a call from Peyton. Did I get a call from Eli? It wasn't about the uncles. It was always about their family. And his grandpa, Archie, is obviously, a huge influence on his life. So to me, when he got here, it was never about the name on the back of his jersey. It was always just being about a good guy, being a great teammate, serving his teammates, working his tail off. It was never about, can I be better than my uncles? It's always just, can I be the best player I can be for my teammates? And it really, that's who he is. He's a fun-loving, easygoing guy. I think everybody's giving him, joking with him now. He got some street cred. He was in East St. Louis with Leo. And it was funny. Hey, comfortable too. So I was telling him about the home visit I did at Ryan Wingo's house, and Ryan's got an awesome family. The families tell us a lot. But I'm telling you, we went into this home visit. The whole neighborhood was in Wingo's house. And it wasn't the summertime. Now we're in the winter in East St. Louis, so everybody's in this house, man, and everybody's eating, and Ronnie, his dad's cooking, and we had a blast. I said, "You're going to Wingo's?" I said, "Get ready. The whole neighborhood is coming out." Man. And so he texted me. He's there. He's like, "You weren't kidding, man. His family runs deep." But I think that just is a little bit of a snapshot indicator. This guy, he's just a normal guy. He's a good teammate that his teammates love.
And that's the thing about it. And whenever your quarterback who is high profile is not afraid to come and hang out with you or your family members and helps you out with the camp and all these different things, it is huge in the locker room. We've always talked about the teammate and the leadership part of it. That goes hand in hand. And as we played yesterday, we talked about Arch and how he wants to stay in the background. He wants to be that guy until he's earned the right to make that happen.
I don't think Sark realized that he got invited to the cookout.
What you mean?
He got invited to the cookout.
Sark is well aware that he's been invited to the cookout.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
Sark is about that life, dog. You don't ever have to worry about Sark. Sark is always invited to the cookout. And for all those different reasons, that is why people endear themselves to Arch, and that's why he has become the undoubted hype machine that everybody's looking at. Obviously, it's about that last name as well, but he also has to go out there and perform. We got a glimpse of that last year. But Sark was also asked about being able to go on the road, and if you think about where Texas has gone over the last couple years, they are a true road-tested football team.
It's such a fine line, right? There's a double-edged sword of this thing. One, you want to talk about in summer and in training camp, building the foundation, getting back to the fundamentals, right? The techniques, building your install, getting yourself prepared for the long grind of the season, all those things. But in the same token, man, there's nothing better for Coach Becton than to throw that Ohio State jab right in the middle of, at the 4:00 run this afternoon when they're in the sandpit up on Denius. Like, Ohio State's working out right now too. Like, as players, there was nothing better. Right? So I always welcome these early season non-conference games like that. And we've been fortunate. You inherit a schedule when you get here because these things are built out so far. But the fact that we went to Michigan last year, the fact that we went to Alabama the year before that, think about where we've been now. Yeah. This is going to be 3 straight years. Yeah. Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State on the road. Yeah. If you don't think that hasn't helped our team in November, in December, in January, like that is huge. But also in training camp, right? It's like right in those dog days of training camp, you're like, dude, I'm so tired of going against the same plays. Right. I know DJ knows. I know every line call. So they're going to it's a run to the right. You know what I mean? Like the quarterbacks are like, all right, it's cover 2. They're disguising it. Like at some point you need new. Yep. And so right about that time, those dog days of camp, we'll pivot and we'll start getting ready for Ohio State. And it's going to be a heck of a challenge. They're a great team. They've got a lot of great players coming back. They'll have a ton of confidence. It's a tough place to play. But we'll be ready and we'll be motivated. And then, like I said, I think in this day and age of the 12-team playoff, I surely hope the committee doesn't punish either of the teams that play in that game for playing that game, right? Because there's a lot of teams that avoid these games. And we're playing in the game. It should be a heck of a game. But I do think it can help springboard us for some bigger matchups that we have coming down the road.
And that is part of not struggle, but the scheduling. You look at it and you look at Texas's history and where they have played over the last few years since Sark has been here. It hasn't been an easy road schedule as some would like to think. You've been to Michigan. You've been to Alabama. This year you go to Ohio State. You also have road games in Florida. You also have road games that have been challenging. You go to Georgia. You have your challenges, and that's why they have put themselves in a great spot of being mentally prepared. And Sark relishes those moments when he can go in and silence a crowd. You also have to look at this. Everybody's not going to look at Texas and think that everything is roses. Steve Spurrier, very, very candid Steve Spurrier, who I guess I was talking to a buddy of mine about this yesterday. As you get older, you really don't care about what you say. It just comes from the heart. And it's just like whatever's on my mind, I'm going to talk about it.
I think the edited feature on your brain just gets turned off.
Oh, it's 100% turned off. And so as you get older, and Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach, he's never really held his tongue, and he knows how to take certain jabs, and he's had success in his life, and he's had great quarterbacks. But I think not understanding who was in front of Arch Manning is kind of getting missed at this jab that he kind of threw at Arch and a backhand slap at Quinn Ewers and Coach Sark.
They've got Arch Manning already winning the Heisman too. Yep. And my question is, if he was this good, how come they let Quinn Ewers play all the time last year? If
even though he was hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And he's still
and he was a 7th round pick.
Yes, exactly.
And Arch is going,
and now they're saying Arch is going to be the first pick. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Well, you only have to ask the coach Sark. Yeah. How come you played that one instead of this one? Hopefully you'll say because we thought he was better in that one.
Yeah.
But isn't that why you played one guy and not the other?
Oh man! Hey!
I mean, the reality of the conversation is this: you can't put everything because you don't know everything that happened. You don't know that Quinn Ewers obviously was a 5-star quarterback himself. You don't know all the things that was happening on the 40 acres. And just like everybody else, you get better each season. So I don't buy into what Coach Spurrier was talking about. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman. Find out what's going on with this transfer portal for the University of Texas baseball team. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Some good news on I-35 northbound. That earlier crash at Slaughter Lane has been taken care of, but we are still seeing some lingering delays from Highway 45, about a 10-minute delay at the moment. Looking onto Howard Lane for a crash at Tarleton Street right around Harris Branch Parkway, as well as an accident on McKinney Falls Parkway at Burleson Road. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Summertime is officially here, y'all. Time for those road trips, lake days, and family adventures. And your neighbors at Cover Ford Hutto, well, they've got you covered. Take $16,850 off MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Expedition Timberline and $14,279 off MSRP on a new 2025 Ford F-150 Platinum. Big adventures start at Cover Ford Hutto. CoverFordHutto.com.
After 48 years, Factory Mattress is going out of business forever. Over $15 million worth of world-class mattress brands must be sold immediately. Up to 80% off at Austin and San Antonio's largest independent mattress retailer. Everything must go, right down to the bare walls. Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. No interest financing is still available. The Factory Mattress going out of business sale is happening now at all 14 locations. Don't miss it.
After a trip to the 2025 Women's Final Four, an SEC championship in their first season, and sold-out crowds at the Moody Center, Texas women's basketball is on fire. And season tickets for 2025-26 are on sale now, starting at just $100. Longhorn Nation helped deliver the first undefeated home season in 22 years. Now it's your turn to be part of the action. Bring the energy, bring the pride, bring the Texas fight all season long. Lock in your seats today at TexasLonghorns.com.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
The NBA draft begins tonight, and Brooklyn Spurs have the second and 14th pick in the first round. Mavs select first. Texas Longhorn guard Trey Johnson will wait to hear his name called at the podium. ESPN has him listed as the 5th best available player. Framber Valdez pitched 7 scoreless. Bullpen did the rest to help the Astros shut out the Phillies in Houston. I'm Ronta Moss.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Thrivent. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
From iHeart Podcast. Before social media, before cable news, there was Alan Berg.
He was the first and the original shock jock.
that scratchy, irreverent kind of way of talking to people and telling them that you're an idiot and I'm going to hang up on you.
This is Live Wire, the loud life and shocking murder of Alan Berg.
And he pointed to the Denver phone book and said, well, there are probably 2 million suspects.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Live Wire, and listen now.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
It is Wednesday, so that can only mean one thing. My guy, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman, joins us to talk all things Texas Longhorns. You can follow him on social @_Danny Davis. And Danny, let's get right into it. Texas baseball has made a lot of moves throughout this offseason. Transfer portal time has been hot and heavy. And the latest moves of the Texas Longhorns are some that are shoring up some positions that will definitely be in need.
Yeah, so they're really busy on, what was it, Monday, I think it was. They got 2 big transfers because I think we both all assume that Jalen Flores and Rylan Galvan will no longer be with this team after next month when that MLB draft comes and their names are called in the first 5-10 rounds or whatever. So, you go out and get a Timo Becerra from Stanford, a 4-year starter, obviously a veteran shortstop who knows how to play the position. You go and you get a Carson Tenney, who was one of the bigger names in the transfer portal, the catcher from Notre Dame, and one of the 3 best catchers in the country. And if you're going to lose one of the 3 best catchers in the country, go get yourself one of the other 2. That's a good way to kind of fill those holes. And so those are obviously 2 big positions I think Texas was anticipating needing to fill. And then you kind of you go around that outfield. I think this may be a completely new look outfield next year with Max Blue moving on. Tommy Farmer and Will Gasparino jump in the transfer portal, which may surprise some people. But you go out, you sign 3 transfer outfielders. You see, what you have with some of the guys that are currently on that roster, whether you keep Adrian Rodriguez, Jaden Duplantier, and the outfielder moving back to infield. I'm a little skeptical that the 2-sport thing is going to keep working with Jonah Williams, but if it doesn't, once again, you got some depth. You got Easton Winfield coming back. So, this is going to be a new look team. If you fell in love with this team in 2025, it's going to be some new guys to, fall in love with in 2026. But Texas has been busy. They had holes to address, and they still have some work, if you ask me, with the pitching staff. But they've been busy.
That's where I wanted to go next. I mean, there are still some names out there. Obviously, the development of certain pitchers is going to be crucial in the move for Texas baseball. And it's funny because I talked about this a little while ago. This is a team that won the SEC, won 44 games, won it by a 2-game spread. And here we are regrouping and revamping a team that went into the SEC its first year and actually won it. So where do they find those pitchers of need out there, either in the transfer portal, or do they hope that a lot of those guys don't get drafted from the high school ranks?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's still left out there on the transfer portal. In the transfer portal as far as pitching is concerned, but I'm sure Texas is making phone calls. But you kind of at this point kind of hope that Max Wiener, if you're a Texas fan, continues to develop the guys that he has on the roster, that the draft doesn't hit them too hard with the guys they expect to be coming in from the high school ranks, and that they can just continue to develop some of these arms into what we consider to be SEC caliber arms. Obviously, you expect Dylan Volantes to move up into the starting rotation, and then you have some pieces, whether it's Ruger Riojas, Luke Harrison, some of those guys, Thomas Burns, Cade Bing coming back, and maybe they can make the next step and kind of, give Texas that SEC pitching. Because I think down the stretch, it's really something that hurt Texas. The numbers at the end of the year, there's a top 10 ERA team. They're going to have, a lot to be proud of what they accomplished last year, but they fell short down the stretch in the postseason, and that's something they definitely need to address.
So let me ask you this, because we're talking to Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. You can follow him @_Danny Davis for all of his stories and leads that he puts out there. But I wanted to ask you this, because as you get ready for the next season and you've seen who won the World Series, obviously another SEC team goes out and wins the College World Series. And the reason why they were able to is because they shored up the front end of their starting pitching, and they shored up the back end to close out games. Obviously, Dylan Volantis is somebody that we're trying to figure out if he's going to go into the rotation or is he going to stay at the back end. If you were Schlossnagle and Max Wiener, what would your position be with Dylan Volantis?
That position would be he's starting on Friday, and we figure out the rest from there. I mean, I think Dylan's obviously just a real big talent, and Texas knew that. I think Jim wanted to kind of slowly bring him along. He said from the beginning that he was a little hesitant to start him on the weekends just because of being a freshman in the SEC. But I think the plan is for him to, Jim may get run out of town if he keeps Dylan in the bullpen just by these Texas fans, just because everyone knows how talented that young man is. So I think I would be stunned if he's not starting on Friday nights or at least on Saturdays this upcoming spring. And Texas is just going to have to figure out the bullpen, and they got a couple guys in the portal who should factor into that bullpen mix, including Cal Higgins, who was on the watch list for that Stop of the Year award. So maybe he factors into the ninth inning, or you let Thomas Burns or someone else kind of work their way into that role that we expect Dylan to be vacating.
Yeah, and I think Thomas Burns is a guy that the way he came out last year in the development, how quickly it showed, was pretty impressive because of Max Wiener. You mentioned something just a minute ago about Jonah Williams, and you're not sure how well this experiment is going to go. Obviously, it was early. He got a chance to play, did well, but now he's working on that football body and those types of things. Do you think it'll still be tough for him? Because he is an outfielder. He's not a starting pitcher. He's not a starting shortstop. I mean, he is somebody that can do more in the outfield. So what are your thoughts on that?
Sorry, my child was yelling at me in the background. Kind of lost concentration. But could you repeat the question? I'm sorry. I'm just going to ask you to repeat it.
It was about Jonah Williams and him being able to go and do both, and the ability to be able to do that because he is going to be in the outfield and not necessarily on the pitcher's mound or as an infielder.
I think I don't have any inside knowledge about this. I haven't talked to Jonah. I haven't talked to Sark one-on-one or Jim one-on-one, but I think people have to be realistic about how much these sports are just 365-day sports. Yep. And at one point, Steve is going to want his starting safety, assuming Jonah becomes a starting safety, in spring ball. At one point, Jim is going to want his starting left fielder, center fielder in fall ball, working on what you work on in the fall. I mean, it's hard to pick up a bat after not picking up a bat for 6 months. I mean, that's why the fall ball is so important, is because these guys are getting reps, they're getting swings in, they're getting just work. It's hard to justify to the players lower on the depth chart why the starters in here and they're putting in the work and all that stuff. So I mean, it's tough in the locker room too. So I don't know. I mean, it could possibly work. Maybe Jonah's doing both sports, running between the dish and DKR, and just a full-time athlete, because I mean, this is pretty much a job for these guys anyway. But I'm just skeptical that this is going to work out in the long term. It very well maybe. Obviously, Jonah's talented enough, but just the logistics of it just doesn't make sense to me, and we'll have to see. I mean, if there's anyone that can do it athletically wise, obviously Jonah fits that bill, but I am in a wait and see mode. I'm not penciling him in for 3 years of playing both ways here at this school, but obviously he's talented enough to do it, and I guess we'll just have to see. But I am personally a little skeptical that it works out long term.
Well, so far I've been impressed, and we'll see what he's able to do on the football field as well. As always, Danny, thank you for taking the time, man. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll talk again next week.
See you.
All right. There he is, Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman, breaking it down. Coming up next, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders finally get some respect. We'll talk about it. They're no longer Rodney Dangerfield. We'll bring it up next, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. Football, Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
A stalled vehicle has the right lane blocked off on the service road of Highway 71 westbound at FM 973. There's also a crash on McKinney Falls Parkway at Burleson Road. And looking at the drive this morning on I-35 northbound, no delays going from Airport Boulevard over to Runberg Lane, about a 5-minute drive. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Shop Mattress Firm's July 4th sale and reclaim your restless nights. Choose from a curated premium selection of mattresses to find just the upgrade you're looking for. Get matched, sleep at night.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-616-1997. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-616-1997. That's 800-616-1997. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Stuck in the same day-to-day routine? Wake up, go to work, eat, sleep, repeat? Break through the boredom this summer and download Call of Duty Mobile for free. Enjoy fan-favorite maps, modes, and operators from classic Call of Duty titles, plus new mobile-exclusive content. Today doesn't have to suck. Cure your boredom for free with Call of Duty almost anywhere, anytime. Call of Duty Mobile is available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store for free today. Rated M for mature.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Cedar Park, Kyle, Pflugerville, or Round Rock, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. Farming meat accounts for 14% of global greenhouse gas emissions, the same as all modes of transportation combined. Help reduce the impact your meals have on the environment by going meatless 1 day a week. When we all chip in, our world becomes a better place. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, covering the 40 acres.
Good stuff on my guy, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. Make sure you get over and follow him @_Danny Davis for all the latest. But right now, we want to give you an opportunity to win a pair of tickets. That's right, folks. You get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Coheed and Cambria. All you got to do is get over to the new and improved iHeartRadio app, the one that's got us #1 on the preset. Hit that red microphone and leave the word SHRED. SHRED is the word of the day for a pair of tickets to see Coheed and Cambria September the 18th at the Moody Center, and we'll give you a chance to win all week long. All right, let's get right into it because the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders have finally been respected. And what do I mean by that? They're getting their just due financially with an opportunity to make money. Now, I believe that Netflix has helped a lot with that conversation of getting them paid because they are America's sweethearts, and they are now in season #2 of that. But they have worked for a very long time to get this done.
They will now be earning $151,000 annually on average. At first I was so happy for cheerleaders. I love any type of woman in sports. I think any pay raise is great. And then I opened up Twitter. Wait, one person said, gonna get paid more than WNBA players. Caitlin Clark is only making $78,000 this year. Another person said, Jerry Jones more worried about his cheer squad than improving the team. I can't hate on it. I just can't because Jerry Jones has the money. Is it going to affect the team's money, the athletes' money? No. Is it ridiculous that they're getting paid more than WNBA players? It's questionable.
But here's the deal. And I know that people are questioning that, and these don't need to be the same two things. Do you realize that they used to get paid like $25 a game? They weren't getting paid at all, but yet they were glorified. They were always on the TV. They were the main show. They go through practices. They go through work. Now, here's the deal. They don't get paid the money that you think they do for practices or any of those deals. But they do get paid for the games. They will get paid for appearances. And I've known some Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. I've gone to high school with former Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. I played professional baseball, so I've got to meet some of those Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. They have been underpaid for a very long time. And if you remember watching the TV show about making the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, you saw what they went through. They had to have regular jobs plus go and practice to be on the Dallas Cowboys as cheerleaders. It wasn't an easy job. But now they're getting paid and recognized for the talents in which that they have. And it's been real interesting to me to watch the journey because, as I've said, they've had TV shows about them. Now they have a Netflix series about them. And now they are finally getting some of the recognition that they honestly deserve. Think about what Jerry Jones has been able to monopolize off of throughout these years. He's the main reason why the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders have been put to the forefront and really been acknowledged for quite some time. So as for Jerry and what the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are being recognized for, I truly am glad that they are now getting the money that they deserve. It's been long overdue, and I'm glad that they are being recognized as that. We're talking Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, but today is Flag Day in Dallas. That's right. Cooper Flagg will more than likely be the number 1 overall pick. We do have Dallas Cowboy. We do have sound for a little bit later talking about the draft. The San Antonio Spurs are having a big draft, and we will also talk to Carolina Teague about the Spurs and what they're planning on doing. We will have her on at 8:34. At 8:17, you do not want to miss my interview with Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones will be joining us at 8:17. You can watch it on our YouTube page. You can watch it on Twitter, X, whatever. But if you miss any parts of our show, or you want to make sure you got appointment radio, but you got to go do something, make sure you get our download of the always free iHeartRadio app. You can program us as your number 1, obviously as number 1 in the preset, but you can also put the podcast page down as your number 2 preset. So if you've missed any of the other shows, you will be able to catch up. Mark Henry, he has some travel issues today. That's why he's not on the show, but he'll be back on tomorrow. He's already reached out because he's been bragging about all the NBA trades that he was talking about with us yesterday, Marcus. And he sent us a text talking about, oh, yeah, did y'all notice anything that happened today? Yeah, Mark, we saw people dumping contracts. We saw it.
He has to let us know he was right.
Yeah, well, because remember yesterday when he left, he said, man, I'm always right.
Yeah, he specifically named Porzingis as being traded, and he was traded
that
day.
Yes. So we shall see exactly what's going on with that. But coming up next, we're going to talk Dak Prescott. I'm tired of the disrespect. And finally, someone that is certified hater has put some respect on his name. Don't forget Chipper Jones at 8:17, Carolina Teague at 8:34, talking Spurs, and so much more right here on a Way Back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food Smokehouse and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Maynard Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22-pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie, this grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
Greg Way here, and no matter who you listen to on the air and no matter which team you root for, we can all agree in recommending Dr. Greg Eckert as your dentist. Dr. Eckert has been serving the Austin area for 30 years now. He's been my dentist for more than a decade. Greg Eckert and his staff will show you what your situation is, and they'll tell you what they can do to help so that you can make the informed decision about your dental health care needs. Give Dr. Eckert a call today at 512-345-3166. They're open on Fridays if that works for you. 512-345-3166 for Dr. Greg Eckert.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying for it. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
Things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horde. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Hordes. 1300 The Zone.
Hour number 2 of a way back Wednesday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. In hour number 1, we talked about Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. Is this the end? Get over and vote on AM 1300 The Zone on our Twitter X page, wherever you want to look at it. We also talked about Coach Sark meeting with the crew from 3rd and Longhorn, and why is Steve Spurrier hating so much. Danny Davis talked about all the moves that were made in the transfer portal by the Texas baseball team, and the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders were recognized finally by their pay. Coming up in the next segment at 8:17, we will have Hall of Famer Chipper Jones live on camera with us. So make sure you get over and watch the interview and listen to it right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. And we'll also have Carolina Teague talking about the Spurs and what the expectations are for San Antonio, as today is the draft. But I want to get into this conversation about Dak Prescott, because Dak Prescott is somebody that has been hated on so strongly by so many people that are out there. And maybe it's just because he wins. He doesn't win the big games, but he wins enough games. And people are waiting for Dallas to get over the hump. Just like I was talking about with Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. Aaron Rodgers was a first-round pick. He did fall in the first round, but he was a first-round pick. He's a MVP. He's done some amazing things, but a lot of people still have this disdain for Aaron Rodgers and the fact that they believe that he should have accomplished a lot more. Well, I mean, I think it's more about the championships than it is anything else. But I wanted to get into this conversation about Dak Prescott because people look at Dak Prescott and think that he is trash. And that's been words of one Shady McCoy at one point. And a certified hater, that she acknowledges it, is Joy Taylor. But Joy Taylor dropped some truth serum yesterday, and I actually had to applaud her.
Seriously, it's not serious. It's just not serious. What are we talking about? When has Geno Smith won a playoff game? The answer is never. When did Justin Herbert finish second in MVP voting? Never. What are we talking about? Listen, I'm a certified Cowboys hater, but this is getting absurd. Dak Prescott has had really high level play in this league. He was second in MVP voting in 2 years ago. Last year he was hurt. What has Justin Herbert done? Justin Herbert is a very talented young quarterback who has accomplished nothing in this league. From an individual standpoint, he looks great. He has great highlights. He puts up numbers. He has not won anything. Dak Prescott has got to get a little bit more respect. Yeah. Geno Smith.
And I like Geno.
I like Geno too.
And I think he's going to do good for Pete Carroll.
I like everybody. Okay? Everyone is wonderful. However, what are we talking about?
But
Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence. What has Trevor Lawrence done?
I don't know that one. Trevor Lawrence and Kyler Murray, though. Seriously.
No, it's absurd. He is at worst 10th, and I would honestly put him at 9th because I'm not putting Justin Herbert in there either.
Ooh. See, as much as I like Justin Herbert.
I love it. I've been saying this. I've been saying this for a long time.
Joy's like,
But here's the deal. She's not wrong. And she admits, I am a certified hater of the Dallas Cowboys and the quarterback situation.
For people who know me, I am the same way, but I've always given Dak his props. I think more or less the Cowboys' playoff success is more of a Cowboy organization thing. It's not. They put it on Romo too. Yep. And it's more of a Cowboys organization thing, not the quarterbacks.
I will always defer because I played the position, so I understand that it is a team thing. I didn't play it in the NFL, but you know what I mean. But I sit here today, and there's this guy, Nate Tice's top 10 quarterbacks entering the 2025 season. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Number 4, Joe Burrow. Number 5, Justin Herbert.
What? Whoa.
Number 6, Matthew Stafford. Number 7, Jordan Love. Number 8, Dak Prescott. Number 9, Trevor Lawrence. And number 10, CJ Stroud.
I understand, Herbert looks like, he's the hot girl that everybody wants to be with, but he seems to be the girl that, doesn't take care of you, not real cool, real mean. It's like he looks the part, but he doesn't perform the part.
That is why it has been I guess you would say, my disdain about the whole situation when it comes to the hate that is spewed when it comes to Dak Prescott. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, I am also one of the people that are always like, hey, the numbers aren't always what they seem. We just had the conversation about Aaron Rodgers earlier. We've talked about batting averages throughout. Now, when you look at the team aspect of it all, and you look at what Dak Prescott, when healthy, what he's been able to achieve is something that you cannot deny. He's been a MVP runner-up. He's been the offensive player of the year. He's a Walter Payton man of the year. And it's just like, why is it that he has to get so much hate? And I'll give you the answer. It is because he wears the star on the helmet and everyone looks at the Dallas Cowboys because it's been so long since they've won a playoff matchup, got to the NFC Championship game, let alone a Super Bowl. That is why everybody looks at the Cowboys as such. You can't always look at the past success and put it on the present regime. It's a different day and time in football.
Like I say, I am a certified Cowboy hater. And like a bunch of people I know in Houston who are Cowboy fans, they know that I will tease them in a minute. I even throw Dak teases at them. But it's for sure Dak has never been the problem. It is always, like I said, it's always the Cowboys organization that focuses on the offseason or usually on the hot name instead of the right name. But as of late, they've been making good moves, and I'm a little nervous as a Cowboy hater because they seem to be turning the page.
Well, I'm going to put it like this. I'm not going all the way out there because I don't want to jump back in. As Mark and I have had these discussions before. The energy in the building is always good at this point of the summer.
Well, yeah,
everybody's got a chance.
You always ask a Cowboys fan during the offseason, what are you going to do this season? They're always going to say, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not going to put all that out there just yet. But
no matter how bad the team is, they will say that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put it like this. There is some optimism when it comes to this type of journey when you're dealing with the Dallas Cowboys. But the truth of the matter is, you cannot always just say, hey, it's Dak's fault or Dak did this or Dak did that. It's not even that type of party. The party is this. Dak is going to get a lot of credit and he's going to get a lot of the disdain. As I said before, he's going to get a lot of the criticism when it comes to what's happening with the Dallas Cowboys.
Nature of the beast.
But the reality is, he's the reason why a lot of times they're even in the successful part of their schedule. I gave the numbers of his record against the NFC East. I've given the records of how he's performed in some of these games. His numbers are always through the roof. And a lot of people can always say, well, it's because they're trailing. That's not his fault that they're trailing. He does not play defense. He does not play special teams. There's been opportunities, and people can say the same thing when Tony Romo. Now, Tony Romo's issue was he turned the ball over at the wrong time. And it was always at crunch time.
Yeah, it was that gunslinger mentality.
And they can also say some of that about Dak Prescott. But you can't tell me that neither one of those quarterbacks were terrible. They are They were talented guys. I got a buddy who loves Tony Romo, still believes that Romo should have been the starting quarterback.
Oh, he's a Romo-sexual?
He's a Romo-sexual. But the fact of the matter is, Dak's numbers at this stage in his career, just like Tony, both being either undrafted or late draft picks, they have found a way to show up and entertain and now get paid. That was the problem that a lot of folks had. They were upset about it. But me, I'm just glad Joy Taylor is finally putting an end to the nonsense of the hate. Right now, coming up next, we've got my guy, Chipper Jones, Hall of Famer Chipper Jones, coming up to talk baseball and letting you know what he'll be doing here in a couple weeks. Not in Austin, folks. Don't get excited. But he's got some things that he's doing in a couple weeks. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
One time when Bill Schoening and I were doing a Tuesday night game, and there was an umpire behind the plate, Tom Jenkins. And Tom was a rather corpulent fellow, and he lets a pitch go in there. And you hear this pop again. He goes, ball two. Then crystal clear that our field mic picked up was some fan yelling, Jenkins, you fat.
Only on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now. AM 1300 The Zone.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu. Starring John Fogerty, Bryan Adams, Sammy Hagar, Mariah Carey, Tim McGraw, Jelly Roll, Ed Sheeran, and more. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Superstar performances, never before seen collaborations, and once-in-a-lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Get your iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets now at AXS.com.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
The right lane's blocked off by a stalled vehicle on the service road of Highway 71 westbound at FM 973. Some stop-and-go traffic this morning on I-35 northbound, about a 20-minute out-of-your drive from Highway 45 up to William Cannon. There's also an accident on Howard Lane at Tarleton Street. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
Basketball is not over. The Big Three is back this Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Physical and fiercely competitive. Miami's 305, led by Lance Stevenson and MVP Michael Beasley, take on Boston's Ball Hogs for second place. Other games feature Dwight Howard, Joe Johnson, Paul Millsap, Montrezl Harrell, Jason Richardson, Jordan Crawford, and more. Basketball the way it's meant to be played, followed by 2 games on Vice. Big Three live on CBS and Vice this Sunday starting 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Bastrop, Georgetown, Killeen, or Lockhart, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
Today doesn't have to suck. Break through your day-to-day boredom by downloading Call of Duty Mobile for free and enjoy fun gameplay featuring fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, modes, and operators, plus tons of new mobile content anywhere, anytime. Available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download for free now. Rated M.
At Henna Chevrolet, the price we agree on is the exact price you'll pay.
I was at a Chevy dealer recently, found the car I wanted, agreed on a price, and made it all the way to the financing table. Before they mentioned the $2,500 mandatory dealer package they added. Mandatory, as in they refused to remove it. So I left and went to Henna.
For straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, come in and together let's drive at Henna Chevrolet or Henna.com.
If you need up to $3,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com is the name you can trust. It's free to use, available 24/7, and you are never required to accept any loan offer. Some lenders offer same-day funding. If you need up to $3,000, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. WeFixMoney.com has been helping customers for 15 years and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you need cash for credit card bills, car repairs, childcare, or anything else, go to WeFixMoney.com. Make sure you type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. Go to the company you trust, WeFixMoney.com. It's free to use, available 24/7, and some lenders offer same-day funding. Just fill in the information and get an answer in minutes at WeFixMoney.com. For up to $3,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day, max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit check, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit Earnin.com for full details.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
When you hear that music, you know exactly what it means. It means that the bases are loaded. He's playing against the Mets, and he is ready to drive in some runs. We are joined right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone by the Hall of Famer, my guy, Chipper Jones. Good morning, Chip. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
We're good. We're good. I want to get into this conversation because I know that there is a lot going on in Major League Baseball, but I want to start off with asking you about you adopted the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers this year because of their coach. They end up losing in the College World Series. There was a suspect kind of getting tossed situation, but talk about what you thought about Coastal Carolina, the way that their coach goes about his business, and the fact that he called the umpire unathletic.
I thought that was great. Coach Schnall has been very impressive throughout his coaching career. He teaches his kids to play hard, to play the right way, to wear the uniform correctly, to respect your teammates, to respect your opponent, and above everything else, respect the game of baseball. And I just really think that Coastal has been kind of that under the radar baseball university for about the last 10 years. You know, they won a national championship, I believe in 16 or 17, I think they won it. But I can promise you this, there is no Division I team, especially teams in the SEC, that really want to have to go out and beat Coastal Carolina. As far as the confrontation in the first game or the second game of the series, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it, but wouldn't you know it, we had somebody behind the plate named Angel Hernandez Campos. You know, I mean, why not adopt the first and middle name of the worst umpire in Major League history? I mean, this guy he couldn't hack it in the big leagues, and now he's screwing up the College World Series too. I think you need to have a little patience in that situation. He did miss some pitches in the first inning. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of tension being the last or the second to last game of the year. And, tensions were riding high. Now, I put out on X that whoever the guy who came in and just started flopping all over the place like LeBron James, I mean, he comes in, he pretty much initiates any kind of contact, and then he trips and falls. Oh my gosh! I have to believe that the NCAA probably is going to rescind that 2-game suspension because Coach Schnall in no way promoted contact there.
Yeah, and that's not how he rolls, and I know a lot of people are kind of feeling the same way. We're talking to Hall of Famer Chipper Jones, and Chipper, let's get into the MLB. I had a buddy text me just a little bit ago that said, "Hey, make sure you remind Chipper that he picked the Baltimore Orioles to make some moves." But not only that, but there's been some changes in the game. Obviously, the Orioles are struggling a little bit, but they're trying to find their way. The the AL East is one of the toughest ones that is out there. You're looking at what's happening with the New York Yankees. But talk about the Boston Red Sox and what you saw from them and the trade that was made with Rafael Devers.
A little surprising. But Devers certainly didn't endear himself to the coaching staff, the rest of the team, the front office as well, with some of the things that he said, how he went about his business. I can't imagine coming out and saying, look, I'm not moving to first base, or I'm not going to be the DH, or I'm not going to play in the outfield. That's just not my DNA. I'm going to do whatever I can to help the club however they see fit. I can understand being upset about bringing in Bregman.
Yeah.
But what's done is done, and they're doing what they think is best for the ball club. And things just got, quite honestly, they got ruined. I mean, they got ruined up there in Boston, and it just got to the point where somebody had to go, and Devers was it. He's a game changer at the plate. I think he's going to be, a pretty outstanding DH from here on out. I don't know why. He's got enough innings under his belt defensively that he struggles out there.
Yep.
So just put him in there in San Francisco. Let him hit in the place that Barry built, and I think he's in a good spot now. But the Red Sox, to me, just looking at them, they're going to go as far as their starting pitching takes them. Garrett Crochet's a freaking stud. At the top of that rotation, they got Walker Buehler and a couple other guys falling into place. So that's going to be, don't sleep on my Tampa Bay Rays down in Tampa. I'm always very high on Tampa. It's a tough place to play now because you're going to an A-ball park, to go down there and play them. But the fact of the matter is they've gotten hot over the last month, and they're going to be in the mix as well.
Yeah, they always find a way to stay in the mix, and that is what we've been able to see for a long time. I want to go to the National League, and obviously the Cubbies are doing really well right now. Philadelphia Phillies are ahead in the East with the Mets and the Braves trailing. Your Atlanta Braves are struggling a little bit, and a lot of the heat right now that I've been seeing is on Mike Harris. Money Mike Harris playing center field and being a leader on that squad. He's struggling a little bit, but Acuna being back is kind of helping him out. What are they going to need to do to get Mike going?
Oh, he's got to make some adjustments. He's landing hard on the front side, which is causing him to go outside the strike zone quite a bit. As well as I do, when all that weight goes forward, it doesn't matter what pitch is coming, you get fooled a lot. He's got a low handset, so he's got a little bit of a reverse C. As he starts his swing, he's got a little bit of that reverse C or a loop, as we call it, that's causing him to come up and under. His timing's got to be perfect on a pitch that he's looking for him to center it up. Right now, there's been a lot of foul balls to the opposite field and easy pop-ups to the opposite field, and that's classic, reverse C, if you will, or a loop. So he's got to make some adjustments. He's got to get, instead of, cocking straight back, he's got to get his hands up a little bit. He's got to come from up top, get on top of balls, and as I like to say, start driving the ball through the wall and not trying to hit the ball over the wall. He is a superstar in center field defensively. Probably one of the reasons why he's still playing in Atlanta right now. One could say that maybe a stint in AAA might help him, but he's just too valuable defensively to not have in there. So I would imagine we're going to ride it out with him, and hopefully he'll have a monster second half.
Before I let you go, Chipper, I know you're a busy man, and I'll be in Atlanta here in a couple of weeks for SEC Media Days. You're obviously there, and you got something that you're going to be doing that's pretty special this year at the MLB Futures game with yourself being the manager and a former teammate of yours and mine, Marquise Grissom Grip, coaching on the other side. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't talked on the phone yet, but I would imagine there's going to be some kind of wager made on this. No, we would never bet on baseball. He's got the American side. I got the national side. And, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't want to be a part of this weekend. The last two times that it was held in Atlanta, I believe in in the 70s, you know, Hank Aaron hit a home run in his home ballpark in an All-Star game. And, you know, when it was at our place in 2000, I hit a home run in my home ballpark in the series. And I just can't wait to see, you know, who shows out this year. You know, I think Acuna is making a strong push for it to get in there. But as far as the futures game, man, what a cool opportunity to see the next wave of young superstars coming up. We have a Zoom meeting today about the rosters and pitch counts for pitchers and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, Grip and I are just going to stay out of the way and let these boys kind of strut their stuff on the national stage. Not too much coaching. I may throw a 3-0 take sign or a stop sign if I don't want a base stolen or something like that. But other than that, let these kids play, let them have fun, and let them strut their stuff on probably the biggest stage that they're ever going to have played on up until this point. So just a tremendous opportunity for Grip and myself and all of our coaching staffs, and really looking forward to it here in a couple weeks.
That's exciting, man, and I can't wait to get to Atlanta. I'm gonna bug you and try to get over there and check some stuff out. So you already know how we get down. 35 years ago, you and I were drafted, and now look at us now, man, just having some fun.
Yeah, you see all this, man?
I feel you. As always, man, I appreciate you taking the time, man. Appreciate you.
Y'all be good. Pleasure being with you.
There he is, Chipper Jones, Hall of Famer. Coming up next, we're going to talk NBA draft. We're going to go down to San Antonio and talk to my girl Carolina Teague as she breaks down the Spurs right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Congestion for drivers on I-35 northbound this morning between Highway 45 over to William Cannon Drive, adding about 10 minutes to the morning commute. There's an accident on the service road of 183 northbound near Pavilion Boulevard, and a new crash at the corner of Palmer Lane and Harris Branch Parkway, causing some minor brake taps. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
Hardge, you know what I'm tired of?
What, big fella?
These boring basic license plate. I saw one today that said 1, 2, 3 ABC. Man, that plate had the personality of unsalted crackers.
Man, that's tragic. You know what my plate says?
Let me guess. Swag Dad.
Oh, very close, though, my friend. It says The Zone. That way, when people see me driving, they know I'm repping the show and my style.
That's what I'm talking about. MyPlace.com, where you can flex your ride without even touching the gas, sports, hobbies, nicknames, whatever.
And right now, if you go to MyPlace.com, use the promo code DAZONE, you'll get a discount just for listening to us.
Don't be that person with the plate that looks like the barcode on a box of cereal, Hardge.
Come on, man. MyPlace.com, all you have to do is use the promo code DAZONE, and you can get yours today or ride in the shame tomorrow. MyPlates.com. That's MyPlates.com.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
After 48 years, Factory Mattress is going out of business forever. Over $15 million worth of world-class mattress brands must be sold immediately. Up to 80% off at Austin and San Antonio's largest independent mattress retailer. Everything must go, right down to the bare walls. Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. No interest financing is still available. The Factory Mattress going out of business sale is happening now at all 14 locations. Don't miss it.
Woo-wee, Austin, I'm sweating. Scott Elder here from Elder Mitsubishi. Right now, I've got to drop excess inventory weight fast. This means you drive for less. With $4,000 in government-assisted down payment on qualifying EVs, we have over 20 to choose from. Terrace weigh you down? This could be your last chance to buy a new Mitsubishi Mirage for less than $20,000. And if you bring home $400 a week, you could be approved for up to $25,000 in credit, $25,000. I'm Scott Elder, your dealer for the people. See all the cars at eldermitsubishi.com.
Credit requires bank approval. The Apple stock RHF 1673, $293 per month at 4.99 APR for 84 months.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be21.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, mainly cloudy for your Wednesday. Could see a stray shower or storm, a high of 92. Mostly cloudy tonight, a low of 75. Thursday, a chance of isolated thunderstorms, a high in the low 90s.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical in 20628.
Electrical problems are a warning. Flickering lights, warm switches, bulbs burning out too soon all need attention. I trust Abacus licensed electricians. Their years of experience make an electrical problem no problem. No wonder they say Abacus. You can count on us.
From iHeart Podcast. Before social media, before cable news, there was Alan Burke.
He was the first and the original shock jock.
That scratchy, irreverent kind of way of talking to people and telling them that you're an idiot and I'm going to hang up on you.
This is Live Wire, the loud life and shocking murder of Alan Berg.
And he pointed to the Denver phone book and said, well, there are probably 2 million suspects.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Live Wire, and listen now.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Special thanks to Hall of Famer Chipper Jones for joining the show. But right now, let's take our time to go down to San Antonio and talk to my good friend Carolina Teague of Spurfect blog. You can follow her on social media at CT the Mike Slayer right now and talk about the San Antonio Spurs and what is all going on in SA. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm excited to talk to you because the last time that we talked, we were talking a lot about the Victor Wembanyama situation, him coming in and how he's developing, and then he ends up getting hurt and missing most of the season. Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm sorry. Your phone went out just a tad. I'm sorry.
Okay. So we were talking about Victor Wembanyama and everything that was going on with him last time you and I spoke. And now we're getting ready for a draft that is expected to be Dylan Harper. But is there any other news that might come out there to where it might change?
I'm just going to be honest with you, Hardge. Probably not. I haven't gotten any indication that the Spurs are going to be doing anything else with that number 2 pick except for getting Dylan Harper. And honestly, all the signs are there. A lot of insiders have reported that Dylan Harper is the go-to pick. And when you look at the Spurs tradition, they're the type that goes the built, not bought route. And it seems like Ron Harper, Dylan Harper's dad, who is a 5-time NBA champion, has been up and down the comments on social media for the San Antonio Spurs. And there was also a local artist who drew a mural for Dylan Harper in a Spurs jersey with the new sponsor logo. So he might have some insight as well. So for me, it seems like Dylan Harper is the go-to pick for San Antonio. And this is kind of their route that they always take. They're more than likely going to roll with Dylan Harper.
So I'm looking at this and I'm looking at your roster and trying to truly understand the fit, right? Like we've all
Mhm.
talked about the fit and how you're going to have a De'Aaron Fox. You still got Vassell. You got Keldon Johnson. You have Harrison Barnes still on the roster at this particular time. Jeremy Shohan has been part of conversations about possibly being traded. Then you think about the changes that were made with Mitch Johnson taking over as full-time, Pop stepping aside. There has been a lot going on in San Antonio during this offseason.
Yeah, and that's what everybody's trying to figure out. Like, how can Dylan Harper fit even if De'Aaron Fox is there and somebody like CP3 who was on a 1-year contract who hasn't made a decision on where he's going to go yet.
Right.
As we all know, Chris Paul is more than likely not the long-term solution for San Antonio. He's the veteran presence. He was more of a short-term mentor. He was somebody who gave the young guard some knowledge on how they can stabilize as a team and be groomed for the next generation to come. And he can, so him and another, if he does resign or if they add another veteran presence, these people can help Harper adjust and then phase out of their career. And one of the things that Dylan Harper is really good at is he is comfortable playing off of somebody like De'Aaron Fox. And when somebody like De'Aaron Fox, who tends to be somebody who's a scoring threat, he puts pressure on the rim, he gets to the spots, and he finishes with touch. Dylan Harper is more of a facilitator. He's a big body initiator, and he sets others up, and he plays unselfishly. Now, the Spurs are also really guard heavy. You look at somebody like Devin Vassell, but Devin Vassell is more of somebody who spaces the floor really well. And then when you talk about Jeremy Sohan, he is more of a defender and not necessarily somebody who runs the offense. So adding Dylan Harper can kind of add that layer of control that the Spurs might possibly need, so slowing down the tempo and the pace. And he's more of a good decision maker. I'm not saying the other Spurs aren't, but he would add value in that aspect as well. So even though the team is guard heavy, that would be where he would fit as far as like slowing down the tempo and being able to be somebody who is a long-term solution for the San Antonio Spurs with a high IQ.
With the draft being able to go off tonight, and you're talking about the Spurs going at number 2, well, the Spurs also have the number 14 pick as well. Has there been any talk of who they are looking at the number 14 pick, or may they trade that pick?
So that is actually the more unknown situation on what the Spurs can possibly do. However, it could go either way. When you look at the draft last year, the Spurs traded Rob Dillingham with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and usually the San Antonio Spurs like to do multi-team trades. So when they immediately flipped him, that kind of showed that Brian Wright is the type of GM that's gonna pull the trigger on a trade that he already negotiated during the clock, and he's more the type of person that's gonna draft for value and not positional need, as we can tell, because they've been guard heavy this past year. But if they do stay put, more than likely they're going to go with somebody who is a center. The Spurs need help in that department on the front court, or they can possibly trade that pick away. They can either move up in the draft for the number 9 pick, which is what people are discussing might occur. And then there's also been heavy reports on the Spurs trading somebody like the likes of Keldon Johnson, who's my personal favorite player, for somebody like the Sacramento Kings for Jonas Valanciunas. That's been the topic of conversation, is that the Spurs might possibly trade him away, or somebody like Malachi Branham for additional picks. The Spurs have the 14th and the 38th pick, and it's being reported that they're also interested in somebody like the teams like the Hornets, and possibly get somebody like Mark Williams. Those would be some options that the Spurs can go with. So that one's more of a question mark, but knowing the Spurs, if they are going to trade away that 14 pick, more than likely they can either do a multi-team trade like they normally do, or they're going to trade away that 14th pick, the 38th pick, for some additional assets, so they can have ammunition moving forward in the draft, kind of like Oklahoma City did when they were rebuilding their roster, and we see how that's played out recently.
Well, if that can happen, I know that the folks in San Antonio will lose their mind for another championship there. As always, I want to thank you for breaking it down and getting up with me this morning, and we'll be paying attention because I definitely want to find out what's next for the San Antonio Spurs.
Thanks, Hardge. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate you. When we come back, we'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick as the NBA draft is tonight. And Dylan Harper, well, let's just say he tried tacos. You'll figure it out right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Life is Good by Joe Walsh.
Life's been good, but that's close enough for
right.
Joe.
You know, when I see that album cover, for some reason, he looks like Dale Earnhardt to me. With the mustache. Now, I have to assume he looks like in person.
Right.
Back when it was.
Trust me, if Dale Earnhardt were alive today, he would not look like Joe Walsh. There's not many people look like Joe Walsh how he looks today. Trust me.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Congestion for drivers on I-35 northbound this morning between Highway 45 over to William Cannon Drive, adding about 10 minutes to the morning commute. There's an accident on the service road of 183 northbound near Pavilion Boulevard and a new crash at the corner of Palmer Lane and Harris Branch Parkway, causing some minor brake taps. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside your Macy's store. And right now, you'll find the latest summer styles all for under $25. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. So don't wait. Find a location at macy'sbackstage.com.
King's Hawaiian welcomes you to summer and reminds you sliders are the perfect meal for the summer grilling season. King's Hawaiian rolls and slider buns, so versatile. Perfect for whatever you're thinking of grilling up. How about chicken, beef, pork, fish? Whatever you're thinking of putting on the grill, King's Hawaiian can turn those into delicious sliders and make you the hero of the backyard. So get ready for summer grilling season. Go to the bakery or deli section of your local grocery store and pick up those irresistible King's Hawaiian rolls and slider buns and enjoy.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22 pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie. This grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Cedar Park, Kyle, Pflugerville, or Round Rock, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
Today doesn't have to suck. Break through your day-to-day boredom by downloading Call of Duty Mobile for free and enjoy fun gameplay featuring fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, modes, and operators, plus tons of new mobile content anywhere, anytime. Available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download for free now. Rated M.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid for allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Shop simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. You're busy. So Leaf Johnson Ford has made it simple. Pick yours at leafjohnsonford.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leaf Johnson Ford. Leaf Johnson Ford has made buying a new Ford simple.
Hey, Tinsley, why don't we use EasyCater to order food for staff lunches?
Because my 46-page acronym system is so easy. I just have to salad, stay alert to late arriving deliveries, pie, put in expenses, and Google Pie. Go out and get everyone's preferences and allergy information.
That's supposed to be simple?
No, simple is Steve and Irma and Margie prefer lasagna and empanadas.
OMG.
No need to make work life more complicated. Just use EasyCater, the easy way to get food for work.
1300 The Zone and the Round Rock Express. That's a double play.
If you missed any part of this, get over to AM 1300 The Zone on the always free iHeart Radio app. Get over to the podcast page and wherever you get your podcast and type in the morning kickoff on AM 1300. So this great interview with our guy Danny Davis as he broke down the transfer portal for the University of Texas and all the major moves that was made. We also had Hall of Famer Chipper Jones breaking down Major League Baseball and the fact that he will be coaching the Futures game against one of his former teammates and one of mine, as well as Carolina T talking about the Spurs. But it looks like they're going to go with Dylan Harper. Speaking of the NBA draft, it takes place tonight. It is Flag Day. And right now, I want you to hear from Rodney Terry, former Texas Longhorn head coach, as he spoke about Trey Johnson and his ability to score.
A couple of mocks came out heading into the draft that have the Pelicans selecting him 7th overall. Do you have any thoughts on what his fit would be like in New Orleans?
I think wherever Trey goes, I think he's going to have a chance to have an impact because his skill set again is so high. I mean, I had a chance to coach a young Kevin Durant in college at Texas as well. And I'm not saying he's Kevin Durant, but I'm saying I've never seen or been around a kid that scores the ball as easy as Trey Johnson does and has a skill set in terms of shooting the basketball for his size. So I think wherever he goes, he's going to have a chance from an offensive standpoint to really make an impact. And I think, defensively, with the culture that he comes into, and I know, New Orleans is, Coach Green there, his philosophy there is defense and playing hard. I think he'll buy into that, I think, with the culture.
And that is why Trey Johnson is projected to go anywhere from number 3 to number 5. But the number 1 pick overall is supposed to be Cooper Flagg, which is why they're calling it Flag Day in Dallas. And let's just say my man Kendrick Perkins, who you've heard on the show with myself and Mark Henry in our Legends of the Locker Room segment, kind of talked about what he sees in Cooper Flagg.
Several hours on hours of DVDs, not YouTube, DVDs of Larry Bird. Perk.
I mean, but look, this is how I look at Cooper Flagg. If LeBron James and Kevin Garnett had a baby, you get Cooper Flagg. And why I say that is because when you think about LeBron James,
come on, man. Are you gonna put him in that situation? You gonna call him that? if they had a baby, come on, man, that don't even sound right because his skill set is totally different. Yes, he has attitude. Yes, he can dunk on people and he can shoot it from anywhere. But let's try to figure out. They just said he was watching Larry Bird videos, not LeBron James and Kevin Garnett.
Well, do we really need to do the Larry Bird comparison either?
No, but he's a shooter. And that's
Yeah.
why I think that he's talking about in the way that he goes about his game. But he's more athletic for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid is totally different.
I do like the Kevin Garnett comparison in a way because he's more of a mid-range shooter who can play in the post and play a little bit on the outside, like a young Kevin Garnett before he developed a full post-game arsenal.
Let's not forget this kid is very, very young, too. He even graduated early to go to college early so he could get into the draft early. Another guy that we were just talking about is Dylan Harper, and Dylan Harper will be supposedly the number 2 pick going to the San Antonio Spurs, and then the draft really starts. But he was talking about the first time. Don't forget he's from New Jersey, and he's never had tacos.
I've been to San Antonio once, and I've had a breakfast taco one time. But both times, the breakfast taco was good. It's like, it's not as good as a big egg and cheese, but it's like right under. Yeah, like a bagel, but it's right under. But, I mean, Texas hot. It's real hot out there. I mean, but it's definitely like a great environment just to be in and just be very low-key.
Huh? The man, he's learning. He's learning on the move because, he's from Jersey. They don't really do breakfast tacos up north. If you've been anywhere besides the state of Texas, it's very rare that you're going to get a breakfast tacos. It's just like going somewhere and asking for queso. A lot of people are looking at you. If you've been up north, they're like, what are you talking about? Cheese? You want cheese? Yeah, melted cheese. So we shall see. But it's going to be an interesting draft for sure. There's a lot of possible moves. We talked a lot about the NFL, Dak Prescott finally getting some love. We talked about Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. Get over to AM 1300 The Zone and cast your vote on if you think this is the last hurrah for Mike Tomlin. If in Pittsburgh, if the Aaron Rodgers story fails, and right now, a lot of people, 71%. Say yes, this will be the end for Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. If this fails, 21% says no, and 7% says he's done no matter what because he's been at the same spot for a long time. And so a lot of things can change in between that. So you gotta pay attention to see what's going on. And whoever your favorite team may be, find out who they draft and what's next for them. Mark Henry will join us tomorrow as his travel plans kind of got sidetracked, but he'll definitely be back with us tomorrow. I want to thank Marcus for tuning in. Make sure you tune in to the Craig Way Show with Craig Way, Cam Parker this afternoon. And, of course, make sure you download the always free iHeartRadio app. Tell 5 friends to tell 5 friends. The morning kickoff is here for you. And always remember this. Don't believe everything you see because even salt looks like sugar. Download the app and listen to the interview with Chipper Jones as well, right here on The Morning Kickoff. See you tomorrow. Summertime is officially here, y'all. Time for those road trips, lake days, and family adventures. And your neighbors at Cover Ford Hutto, well, they've got you covered. Take 16,000